This is Spare Time Repair, and this is an old fountain pen. It was given to me by my boss, who asked me if I could get it going. He claims that it leaks, but I wouldn't know because it's actually dried up at the moment. There's just traces of the old ink coming out, which I believe is blue-black. I have some of that, so I can restore that later. But it's a Sheaffer. It's also on the cap, and inside it has one of these rechargeable cartridges. But it's pretty grotty, so I'm going to give it a good clean up before going any further. It's just completely dried out. And there's also some tape around the barrel. I don't know why that is, maybe because it was leaking. Not sure what that would do. But I have seen him using this relatively recently, so I know it hasn't been like crusted up for decades or anything. I think the idea of this is you dunk this in the ink, you press on this and release, and it sucks ink into the barrel. That doesn't seem like a very good way of filling it though, so I will be using a syringe, which hopefully will go in here, yes. Oh, there is some liquid ink in there. Actually, do you know, I think it is black. Well, that's okay, I have some black as well. Now, I'm not a fountain pen restoration expert, so if you are, please don't shout at me. But initially I'm just gonna soak these in some water. And I should probably be using distilled water or something, but this is just tap water. So I'll probably leave those in there for half an hour and then come back to it. In fact, another issue this pen has is that the clip is very loose. But I don't know whether that can be fixed. Does this unscrew? But I am going to clean these parts with some isopropyl alcohol using a cotton bud. I wonder if I could put something inside, because there's obviously some metal tangs in here that they've got loose. I wonder if I could bend them back somehow. It's also bent outwards, like it should be in this position. Yeah, I can't really show you, but I think the cap retainer, I don't know what it's called, I think it stops here, so I can't actually access the inside. When I move this, I can't see anything moving inside, which I thought I would be able to. I'm pretty sure this is not going to unscrew, and I don't want to try and lever it off because that will almost certainly damage it. So I wonder if I can pull the plastic part, assuming it's plastic. I wonder if I can hook that out somehow. It's bent a paper clip, see if I can hook it. Yeah, there's nothing to hook onto. Might come back to that. Okay, these have been soaking for about half an hour now, so I'm gonna see if I can clean them up. I wonder if this nib is removable. I should try and remove this tape that's on the grip. I should have worn gloves in the first place. Right, I'm going to use some Goo Gone to get rid of the residue from the tape. Fountain pen nibs hold an incredible amount of ink. You can do this for ages and it'll just keep coming. Just going to use a toothpick with some kitchen roll. See if we can get all this gunk off. Doesn't want to come off, so I'm going to try a magic eraser. It's very mildly abrasive. think the rest is just corrosion. Probably as clean as it's going to get. Ooh, this unscrews. The more you can disassemble it, the better. Can't tell if this is corrosion or whether it will come off. It'd be really helpful if I could remove this nib. Well, that was easier than I thought, although I may have broken it. Here we are, we're getting into the weeds now. Hopefully these fins that are broken off won't be too crucial. Ooh, wow, it really is all coming apart. Probably get replacements for these if you need to. Pretty sure that's corrosion. It looks pitted. This is all pretty clean now. I have some steel wool. I wonder whether it's worth trying it on this. It's quite coarse. No, don't think it's made any difference. It's just made a bit of a mess. Let's clean that up quite nicely. And surprisingly, it's actually made that come up quite nicely. It's certainly an improvement. Let's see if this works. Worked very well. Okay, I think we're ready to reassemble. So this washer sits on here, I think, which goes through there, and then this goes all the way through. And presumably lines up with that. Which should all screw together. And then that's going to go out of alignment, isn't it? Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just kind of sticking there. I think I'll just screw it on very gently. Oops. I've got the gold ring. It still isn't very clean. I think that's better. Let's try again. Doesn't feel like it wants to go, and I don't want to force it. Maybe you have to do them both together. Having real trouble getting this nib in. It's really tight, and I just thought it would slide in, but it doesn't. Maybe you have to do it this way. Put the nib in first and then slide this in. It just feels certain that these last two fins are going to break off if I do that. Yeah, there goes one of them. That has to align with that, so it feels too tight. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think that's right. So let's put some ink in here and see how it goes. Got some Parker black ink. I don't like these refillable cartridges because you're always going to be dunking this end in and it's just going to get gunged up. So I've got this syringe for the refilling, which is going to be much cleaner. Doesn't take much. Should have kept the gloves on. Okay, gonna let the ink flow through that. I'm just gonna see if this does unscrew. I've got some very thin rubber-like material here, which should give me a grip. No, that's not budging. Just feel there must be some way of getting this inner cap out of here. Ah. Well, I think I've just wrecked it. I don't want to try and lever it off because that will almost certainly damage it. That came off so easily that I thought it must be a push fit, but I've definitely broken it off. I can at least clean this bit up. I think this is rapidly turning into another how not to do something video. But it might enable me to push the inner cap out. It doesn't click. I don't know whether it ever clicked. I don't remember it clicking. But it does stay on quite firmly. Still no ink flow through here. I think I've got it. I should be able to get something in there to bend these back again. Let's clean this up. And I foolishly thought I was done with the cleaning. I can see the tangs for the clip. I can actually see them quite clearly now. Ooh, look at that. It's not moving at all. Looks like this is cracked, which will explain why it's not clicking. I'm going to try just putting a piece of clear tape over the crack. I think it's going to be protected once it's in here. And it'll just stop the crack opening up and hopefully give the cap more of a snap. I can now insert this back in here. I can see that's gone right to the end. So will it now snap on? Ooh, you hear that? Well, it's clicking and it wasn't clicking before, so that's an improvement. I'm just going to use a very small amount of this epoxy. Though it looks like it's dried up. Obviously we don't want most of this. I think this might be the messiest repair I've done yet. Okay, that should be roughly equal quantities. Okay, just a very small amount. Now we just need to try and get it writing. So I think if I dip the nib into the ink, it should encourage it to flow through. It seems to be flowing nicely. So I think the ink I've just soaked in there is now drawing the ink through from the cartridge, because otherwise I think it would have run out by now. Well, I think I'm happy with that, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.